see this week's episode of The Walking Dead, because if you didn't, don't worry, you didn't miss much. The biggest thing that happened in this episode was we got introduced to the Hilltop, which is a huge part of the comics. It is also where Jesus is from. Now, I have taken a vow to not read ahead in the comics, so I'm not able to give you any inside information about Hilltop, but that's what the internet is for. After we got to see what Hilltop has to offer, we got to meet their douchey boss who tries to hit on Maggie and put her in her place. Don't you dare fuck with my girl Maggie. Of course, this wouldn't be The Walking Dead without a little bit of drama. Some of the Hilltop gang comes back after an apparent Negan attack, and they're like, yo, they got so-and-so, and they told me I need to do this, and they're like, shake, bitch, to the boss man. Boss man thought he was all badass until he got some steel up in his belly, and of course, when action goes down, who pops into things? Fucking Rick's all like, bitch, boom! Knocks down this big-ass motherfucker. Rick is fighting freaking Goliath, and then Abraham gets into it with this other dude, and they're all like scuffling, and this dude is like choking Abraham out. He's like, yeah, bitch, you like that? Abraham's getting choked the fuck out, and Daryl comes to that guy. He's like, oh, is this your arm? Ah! And that guy's like, ah! So Rick and this big dude are rolling around on the ground for a bit, and that guy finally gets on top of him, has a knife to his throat. He's like, I need to do this. And if we know anything about Rick, is you don't give him an opportunity to strike, because Rick's all like, Gah! And that guy's like, ah! And Rick just adds to his collection of other people's DNA being on his body. Wait a minute, that wasn't the best part, because after Rick freaking kills that guy, he gets up like this, he's like, what? Oh, Rick don't give a fuck. He will kill you if you try to kill him. That's why he's all like, what? And then the girl that was probably banging out Goliath over there gets all pissed, and she runs up to Rick, and she's all like, boom, bitch! But who comes to save the day? Michonne's all like, bitch, get on the ground. And she's all like, don't try me, bitch. Because why? That's her man. She sticks up for her man. After all that craziness, Rick asks Jesus who Negan is because he's heard of him before when Daryl freaking GTA'd his ass with that RPG. Jesus tells the whole group about the whole Negan situation and how he takes half of everything. Daryl's kind of like, how the fuck do you allow them to do that? And he says that Negan came in and beat to death one of their people right in front of them. Now, whether you read the comics or not, you probably know that the most infamous scene that Negan is involved in is he takes his buddy Lucille and freaking beats Glenn to death in front of the group. There's been a shitload of speculation since Negan was announced to appear this season, and since Glenn's freaking near-death experience, everyone thinks that it's going to happen, that Negan will kill Glenn this season. Of course, I say it every chance I get. I called that Glenn would die this season, but a lot of people don't think so. A lot of people think, why would The Walking Dead have all these near-death experiences for Glenn just to kill him in the same season? Which makes sense, but my thoughts, along with a lot of other people, think that maybe The Walking Dead is just showing us that Glenn is really lucky, he's an escape artist, he can get out of crazy situations, only to show you that he's gonna get his ass beat and there's no way escaping it. That's how he dies, by the hand of Negan and Lucille. That's his bat. There only seems to be like two options, right? Negan kills him, Negan doesn't kill him, but this is The Walking Dead show, and they're not afraid to go away from the comic for a little bit. I personally think Glenn is going to die at the hands of Negan, but let's go ahead and take into some other thoughts. What if we replace Glenn with somebody else so Negan can still show his badassery and toughness by killing somebody in the group, but it won't be Glenn? So how could Negan show how infamous he is by killing one of the group? Well, the person he could kill would be Daryl. I know everybody watching this video right now is like, oh, fuck you, bitch. You know, no, not Daryl, fuck you. I know, I don't want it to happen either, and I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they wanted Negan to make the biggest impact and they didn't want to kill Glenn, they would kill Daryl, because one, he's not in the comics at this point, and like, oh man, Daryl is like the fan favorite, I think even over Rick. I think people love Daryl more than they love Rick, and holy shit, that would make the biggest impact and the biggest like what the fuck moment in Walking Dead history. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like I've said before, I think it's gonna be Rick and Daryl back to back at the end of the series, and they're gonna be like a bajillion zombies, and they're just gonna go out fucking killing people. But who could they freaking use if it's not Daryl or not Glenn? Who could still make an impact? But I don't know. I don't think there's anybody else that could be that significant. But I do think there is somebody they could kill that people would be like, oh, what? I think it would be Abraham. Now, some of you are probably like, oh man, I don't give a fuck if that dude dies. But I will say that maybe they're gonna go with the whole, he's the military guy, he's the biggest dude in the group, so if Negan just comes in and beats the biggest guy down, kind of like Rick just did to Goliath over there, it could make a statement. It won't be the most like devastating, like no kind of thing to happen in the show, but it would make a statement that Negan ain't messing around. He will kill the biggest guy in your group just to show you, yo, I mean business. And I'm not choosing Abraham just because he's the biggest guy or whatever. I honestly do think Negan's gonna kill Glenn, but the reason I'm picking Abraham as a substitute is because they're kind of making him feel like he's not wanting death, but with the whole thing with freaking Sasha and what's her face? Totally can't remember her name, I just know she's hot. With that whole love triangle, he's all like thinking about life and thinking about like, why would you bring a baby into this? And he thinks about his wife and his kids and all this shit. They're making him feel like real, like down to earth. And they've done this with a bunch of characters before, but I don't think he's on the level of like Rick, Michonne, and all of them. Kind of feel like they're putting Abraham on the same path they put Tyrese on. Like he's thinking about a lot of things. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to do that. Although I think Abraham will kill people if he needs to kill people. But you just saw that he got his ass beat by somebody that he should have been able to take care of. So maybe he's the next to die because we all know what happened to Tyrese. He didn't want to kill people anymore and he freaking got bit. Abraham might just meet Lucille. But that's just me. Who do you think would substitute for Glenn in the whole Negan beating? Let me know in the comment sections down below. The last thing I want to talk about is our group getting a little too cocky. After Rick and Daryl find out about the whole Negan thing, they come up with this plan of like, yo, you give us supplies and we'll take out Negan. Look, I know our group is super badass, but I don't think they've ever like, yo, we'll do this, you give us this kind of situation. It's always been like one of our own's in there, we gotta go in there and fuck shit up. I get why they're doing it for food, they need that shit, so it seems like a smart plan, but every time they fought somebody, they kind of knew what they were getting into. They have no idea what fucking Negan has. So our group might be biting off more than they can chew. They're gonna go into Negan's compound and fucking fight him at his place. Could we see Glenn die in one of the next 2 episodes? Do we think Negan would freaking kill one of them at his place and then just let them go? I don't know. They would have to capture them, take all their weapons and be like, look, you're gonna fucking start helping us. We're gonna kill your buddy Glenn here and we're gonna send you home and fucking go do what you want. But we're gonna follow you and fucking take all your shit. And can we trust Jesus and this other dude that got the broken arm? What if they're leading our group into a trap? That's all I really have to say. Shout out to Maggie for being a motherfucking badass at the end and being like, look, we'll take out Negan, you give us half, bitch. Damn, girl, you so sassy when you bossy. But let me know, guys, what did you think of this episode? Is our group too cocky? Who would substitute for Glenn? How hot is Maggie when she's bossy? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your buddies, your grandmas, and your grandpas. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, guys, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time.